take the lead in defending their young democracy. Congressman Joe Sestak is a Democrat from Pennsylvania. He spent 31 years in the Navy, rising to the rank of three-star admiral. He is also a member of the Armed Services Committee and a candidate for U.S. Senate. Thank you very much for joining us. And as this is an historic day, give us your assessment. What did we accomplish with the war in Iraq?
Well, we're leaving behind a country that has in its own hands its future stability, and this is a significant step today. And I echo the words of thanking those heroes, my fellow veterans, who are coming home. And let's hope that we welcome them home as heroes, not just in words, but in the assistance they need to find jobs. But as far as our national security fabric, I think people will look back at this war as an unnecessary one that we unfortunately harmed our national security fabric as we've lost our focus where the real challenge was, and that was in Afghanistan, where we initially went to eradicate al-Qaeda, who have found a safe haven in Pakistan. I hope now that we can restore our Army and our Marine Corps back to its readiness that has dropped precipitously in order to respond elsewhere, move forward to eradicate that safe haven in Pakistan in partnership with that country. And then again, remember the lessons that militaries may make you safe. They don't make you secure. And so we need now to buttress our economy, restore our military to what it needs to be ready to defend us at the appropriate places in the future.
Well, let me ask you then about the money that has been spent in Iraq in particular. I think at the height there were, 160,000 troops who were stationed there. We know that it has been tremendously expensive, both the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. So I think a lot of Americans wonder now what happens. Is money saved by this drawdown? Does it get redirected to Iraq or pressing domestic problems? What happens now?
I think you will see that the defense budget is actually going to be fairly flat-lined out. Most of the money that was in emergency appropriations, not within the normal defense budget. But we're going to have to keep something else in mind, Chris. The real cost of this war, as several other studies have done, is far beyond $1 trillion. When you add up the cost of post-traumatic stress disorder, 32% of the National Guard that comes home has it. About 25% of our active force has it. And when you see them transition into society and the support they're going to need, the indirect cost of this war is immense. I spent Veterans Day in a prison in the city of Chester visiting veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder that had gotten into a crime as they came home over various wars, including this one, and didn't find a job. That's where the real cost comes from. But I think you're going to see our defense, underneath the immense challenges we have, are going to have to understand that we're going to have to live within the means of a defense budget that isn't anymore going to be able to increase as it had over the past years. And I think we can do this as we change our military, one that's more focused upon knowing where the adversary is rather than measuring itself in quantity, how many ships, how many planes. Knowledge, knowing where al-Qaeda is of greater utility, and those types of systems that can help us know with better intelligence and knowledge will be where we want to place our future extra pennies.
Congressman Joe Sestak, thank you so much for being with us.
Good to be back, Chris. Thanks.